host of the No Spin News on BillO'Reilly.com, New York Times bestselling author. That latest book that it was just a vital read is called Killing the SS. Bill O'Reilly, welcome back to the program, sir. Always a privilege to have you with us, Bill.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you having me in.
Bill, can I go here because I feel like I know you and I could talk to you like a friend? It's like
you do know me, Joe.
Well, I don't want to.
Have you forgotten all those years?
I know, but I don't want to lean on the friendship. But it's like because I'm kind of new with the whole radio thing. I mean, we're into our 6th year, so we know what we're doing. But I'm watching Notre Dame, and I know you're a good Catholic boy. Notre Dame burns to the ground. I'm very suspect of this, but I'm afraid to say it on the air. God forbid I say, is it suspicious to you, Bill O'Reilly?
Well, here's how I reported it yesterday. You've got to be careful about speculation, and you've got to be careful about conspiracies and all of that, because it can do damage. And, when you're just spouting off, well, this coulda, shoulda, woulda, it doesn't really mean anything. But the way I reported was that in Paris, there have been recently fires at other Catholic churches, which is true. It's a fact. So you can report it. But at this point, nobody knows what the cause of the blaze was. However, and I know this is true, French authorities are bringing in arson teams just to make sure that there isn't any shenanigans, because Paris is a hotbed of terrorism. There's no question. All right, when you have Islamists who control, and they actually do control, certain neighborhoods in Paris, you always have to be cognizant that they could cause trouble. But that's as far as you can go. You can't go any further other than to explain to people why the cathedral over there is important to the world, and it is. I spent, a lot of time in Paris at Notre Dame and the Ile de Saint Louis right behind it, because it's just a fabulous, fantastic place, not just for people of faith, but for all people. This cathedral built in the 12th century is just an amazing human achievement. So that's how I reported it. I think that's the responsible way, and I'm sure the French authorities are going to do the best job they can in finding out what happened.
All right, Bill O'Reilly. Bill, what are you expecting Thursday when the Mueller report is released?
Nothing. I shouldn't say that. I'm not expecting any legalities that are of concern to the American people. I'm not expecting that. So I will expect, and won't be on in my house. It's Holy Thursday, Good Friday. I'm not a religious fanatic, but it's a time when people repent and they think about Easter Sunday.
God bless you for that. Yeah, man, I got you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not walking around hitting myself on the back with a twig, even though I should.
Stop.
I should.
Stop. I got
but
you.
I'm not. However, Barr knows what he's doing. I mean, I'm thinking about the difference between Attorney General Barr and Attorney General Jeff Sessions. I mean, my God, Barr really knows what he's doing, and he says, all right, you guys, we know what you're going to do, we, the Trump administration. You're going to cherry-pick anything in there and then run wild with it on cable television and the New York Times editorial page. We know you're going to do that. We know you're not going to report it accurately. We know you're going to take it out of context. We know you're going to try to damage Donald Trump with it. So we'll put it out on Holy Thursday when you're all off. Now they're going to have to come back in. See, all the vacations that was scheduled, all the TV people, they go, I got to go back in. But nobody's going to work Friday. So it's a one-day story. It's very clever what they're doing. But if there had been, and this is important for your listeners, Joe.
Yes, sir.
If there had been any malfeasance on the part of Donald Trump, that would have been leaked a long time ago. It would have been out a long time ago.
Great point.
And they'll basically say, well, Trump was naive here, and he should have done this, and maybe he could have done that, and But the American people have had it. They don't want to hear about it anymore. It's springtime, and they want to move ahead.
What's hurtful, Bill O'Reilly, is when some of the information that will come out that is not redacted, but it's personal information. We've been talking about it all morning. How do they get away with that? That is just such an evil thing to do, no?
Well, we're living in an age where there really isn't any privacy for anybody. I don't engage on social media very much because it's shy. I mean, I'm just shocked at some of the sick people who set up shop on social media, And all of us in the public eye have to deal with it, and children have to deal with it, and it's horrible. That's the worst thing about cyberspace and the new technology. Best thing is you can research, you can learn, you can find things fast. The worst thing is that there are sick, and I mean sick, people who set up shop and then they just throw things out and hurt people and destroy reputations. And there's nothing you can do about it.
You're a great father, Bill. I like to think I try to be as well. It's tough, man. When I see something online, you got to sit
I'm
there.
all over the urchins, as I call them. I am all over them, but you can't take the machines away because that's their social life.
Yeah.
Piscopo, when you and I were kids, what did we do? We went out of the house because our parents wanted us gone. We got into the street where there were other urchins, and we played for 8 or 9 hours and only came home to eat when the street lights were on. You had to get in because it was night. Exactly. That's what we did.
Yeah, man.
Now the whole social life for children is on the social media, the Instagram, and they're taking pictures of their socks and sending it to everybody. Oh, I got new socks. Hey, no one cares. And this has a lot of psychological, implications. But you're right. You can do horrible and say horrible things about people, and you don't have any recourse because to sue somebody, you're looking at $50,000 to $100,000.
Yeah. Bill, give us your analysis, if you would, of the president's threat to send migrants to sanctuary cities.
Well, you have to understand, and I'm writing, as you know, a history book about Trump, which will be out September 17th, called The United States of Trump, How the President Really Sees America. And the one thing that people have to understand about Donald Trump is that he's always in campaign mode. Everything he does, yes, he governs the country, but in that governance, he's running, he's winning. He's laying the groundwork for his next accomplishment, whatever that may be. Mm-hmm. So the migrant thing is basically a campaign thing to gin up his base because the base doesn't like sanctuary cities. Trump has not been able to punish them effectively. So now he says, all right, I'm going to send all these migrants to you. Now, that doesn't make any sense because you can bus migrants to San Francisco, Seattle, or New York City, wherever you want, but they don't have to stay there. Once people are in the country, they can go where they want to go. And number two, if they do go to sanctuary cities, that pretty much ensures they'll be here forever because the cities won't cooperate with the federal government in finding out where they are and what they're doing.
How do you think it plays out? How does it all play out, do you think?
Well, we're going to have to – all these people who are here – now in the country, probably most of them will stay. But you just can't keep absorbing millions of people, so I assume that some time Congress is going to pass new immigration laws because you just can't absorb the world's population. It's changed demographics. And as I told my listeners on BillO'Reilly.com, what this is about for the Democratic Party, which blocks any meaningful immigration reform, is turning states from red to blue. So Arizona is a good example. Arizona is about to go into the blue category. It has been that's the land of Barry Goldwater. Traditionally, a Republican state, so many new citizens are there, so many new voters.
Yeah.
And migrants vote Democrat because Democrats promise entitlements.
This
and
is
when you come from
concerted
Honduras
effort.
and Guatemala, you're going to need some help here.
Yep. It's a concerted effort. It's a concerted effort.
And Texas is the real showpiece. If the Democrats can turn that blue,
yes, sir,
then the Democrats control California, Texas, New York, Illinois. They win every presidential race. Texas is really where they want to flood the zone with foreign nationals to turn the state liberal.
Bill O'Reilly with Joe Piscopo. Bill, appreciate your valuable time. I used to really enjoy your segments with my old buddy Dennis Miller. You guys are
we had him on this week. If you go to BillO'Reilly.com,
cool.
We got Miller up there. Miller New Deal.
Yeah. Oh no, man! Well,
we got him. So,
and
Miller and I, we still do things together, and it's still a lot of fun.
Yeah. Hey, Bill. Also, socialism. As dads, and I'm looking at my kids, my young kids, and I'm going, socialism. Oh, they keep talking about socialism, and I saw some great millennials, by the way, at Liberty University. I was down there doing an event last Friday. So I had some hope. I had some hope at Liberty, But a lot of the millennials with the socialism. What do we tell our kids? Why is it so popular with young people, Bill O'Reilly?
Because it's hard to make it. It's hard to compete in a capitalist society. Yeah. It takes discipline. You have to work. With socialism, you don't have to do any of that. You're handed the basics of life. So that appeals to a lot of people who want to spend all the time on the machines. They want to sit on their butt all day long and play games. Well, I don't want to go out. I want to have to start. I started my career in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Man,
I had to go to Scranton. I had to work there, and move up. Yeah. That wasn't easy. I moved 15 times.
Yeah, amazing.
Throughout my career, covering wars, going all over the world. Those are hard. That's hard. And so, the really bad thing about this whole socialistic trend is that you're sending a signal that you can't make it. So Ocasio-Cortez in the Bronx is telling her constituents, you can't make it. So I'm going to give you stuff. I'm going to get you stuff because the white people are keeping you down. That's the message.
Amazing. Yeah, so
and
true.
And it's really, unless we reverse that, and you got slick salesmen like Bernie Sanders peddling this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he's slick. I'd love to come up against him. He never would come up.
How do you think he did last night on Fox News? Did you watch that at all?
He dominated those two.
Yeah.
He dominated them. He's standing up. They're sitting down. As soon as Bernie Sanders got up off his butt, I would have gotten up. I'm 6'4", and I would have stood toe-to-toe with him. Yeah. All right, and Bernie's got his facts. He can stalk. He's a Brooklynese. He can. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You don't let him do that. You basically say, Senator Sanders, why do you think the U.S. economy is doing so well right now under a president you despise?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, you know what? Also, why did he call Donald Trump a pathological liar? And I want to. And every time somebody,
that's what every Democrat. That's the playbook. But they give you a playbook.
But they never tell you what the lie is. What is a lie? I'm listening. Tell me what the pathological lie is. I'm listening. I never hear anything, Bill.
What Trump does is that he uses hyperbole. Word of the day, hyperbole. Okay, and he's not a precise speaker. So to make his points, he'll say, I saw 80,000 people eating hot dogs today. All right? And hot dogs are good, so buy them. Well, no, you didn't see 80,000 people. But this is what he does. He's like a comedian. He's like you. He's like what you do. In comedy, you exaggerate.
Poetic license, as it were. Yes, I understand this.
Right. That's
true.
What he does.
So
all right?
fun.
He's not interested in verbal accuracy. He's interested in making his point. Now, as president, that hurts him. And I've had this conversation with him.
You have?
I said, look, you've got to be a little bit more precise in the way you describe situations that annoy you.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you say something that isn't true, all right, or is exaggerated, the whole point gets lost, and they'll attack you on your veracity.
Bill O'Reilly, man. Are you going to do radio again? Did I hear you doing radio again? Very exciting.
Yeah, I'm going to do a Paul Harvey thing. Remember Paul?
Yes,
Paul
great idea. Yeah, good day.
We're reviving that franchise. It's going to be a newscast, short newscast every day. I can do it in my jammies from home, which is why I took the gig.
I love it. Bill,
and I'm just going to do honest news. I'm going to do a little bit of commentary in the 15 minutes. But I'm just going to run it down so that people who really want the facts, all right, can get them on the radio in a quick way.
Bill, we need you, man. Bill O'Reilly. Hey, we'll see you at Yankee Stadium as well, Mr. O'Reilly.
Yeah, it's their opening day, and let me know when you're going.
Okay, I will for sure.
Let me know when you're going, because I was with Piscopo and McEnroe and a few others, what was it, a couple of years ago.
I remember that.
My son still, he was, I don't know, I guess he was 13 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, he still talks about that.
Wow, man. Listen,
Yeah, you know what he says?
I'm afraid to ask. Who's that? Who was that guy behind you?
No, he said, Dad, you're always telling me that you have to choose your friends wisely. What was that crew?
Bill, thank you. We love you, man. Thank you so much.
Anytime, man.
All right.
Talk to you.
Bill O'Reilly right there. 20 before 10.